Now joined by former All-American Ohio State cornerback Jeff Okudah. Jeff, I have to believe you've had tomorrow night circled on your calendar, draft night, for a very long time. Before we get into where your head is at and whether or not you're nervous heading into that, I just want to say you are here on behalf of Old Spice. You smell amazing, by the way. Take us through your partnership with Old Spice.
Yeah, so obviously we can't physically be at the draft this year, so Old Spice, the NFL, teamed up to give us a virtual red carpet experience. And everyone can check out what we have in store at the hashtag NFL Draft Red Carpet.
Jeff, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's been over 20 years since a corner was taken in the top 3. Now, obviously, you don't know where you're being taken tomorrow night, but number 3 to Detroit is a place a lot of people have speculated that you'd be taken. What I wonder is whether you go 3, 4, 5, wherever it is, how much of your pedigree, being a number 1 recruit out of high school, being a starter as a true freshman, being a super high achiever at every level, do you think has prepared you for what the expectations will be of being a top 5 NFL draft pick?
I think that all the pressure that comes along with it, I've kind of been prepared for the whole life. Because, like you said, with all the being number 1 recruit, cornerback, being a cornerback at Ohio State. So I'm ready for the next challenge.
What about the technical parts about the game do you really enjoy, and what are you looking forward to bringing to the next level?
So for me, I love watching receivers, love watching offenses, and I also love watching myself. So I like to be really critical of my technique, look at little things I can do to get better, and also look at ways I could add other cornerbacks, great parts of the game to my game.
All right, Jeff, let's look way forward for just a second. When the 2020 season is over, why will you beat out your former Ohio State teammate Chase Young for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I think it's a passing league, so I'll have a really good chance to go against some great receivers and show where I stand to the whole rest of the league.
Let's talk about Chase for a minute, Jeff, because again, we don't know how the draft's going to go, but it could be a Buckeye, 2-3. Oh, Chase going 2 and you going 3. Maybe flip-flopped. We'll see what happens with the quarterbacks. I imagine you actually didn't have a great view of a lot of Chase Young highlights. You're turning your back, you're covering a guy downfield, and all of a sudden he stops running. You're like, oh, because Chase has a strip sack. When you're in the film room, when you're in meetings, when you're in practice, what jumped off the page to you most? What impressed you the most about Chase?
I think his first step is just crazy. He's able to get into the backfield so fast, and he finishes on the quarterback. So when I'm covering, I got to take into note what kind of throws I could be getting because he has that crazy ability to do that.
Jeff, I think you said you look up to Patrick Peterson and Stephen Gilmore. When you watch tape, is there a specific technique that you incorporate to your game, and how long does it take you to incorporate that technique? Like, have you watched tape and say, oh, I'm going to go practice that right now, or on the next game I'm going to do that? Do you have a specific story where watching tape has immediately yielded results?
Oh, definitely. So just watching Gilmore, watching his press man technique, I think I want to add a little bit of that to my game, just the patience of the line of scrimmage. So just working with one of the corners at Ohio State, Damon Arnett, we used to just drill it every single day. And then we got to spring practice, and the game had just slowed down for us so much.
Who right now in your circle is the most nervous? Is it you? Is it a friend, a family member? Who do you think's the most nervous right now for Jeff Okudah?
I think my aunt. She's pretty nervous just because it's like she's really protective over me, and she doesn't know where I'm going to end up. So, I mean, she's just really been asking a lot of questions, really excited, and I guess we'll find out where I'm going tomorrow.
Jeff, you had one of your combine interviews go viral when the reporter asked you about your non-existent tendencies to be sloppy, which you are not. I think it went viral because it showed your poise and confidence in a potentially awkward situation. How does that poise and confidence that you have translate to the football field?
Just the way I carry myself on the field, try to keep it cool. always have like a mild temperament. So I think that in a way kind of frustrates receivers because when they're talking, I'm just kind of chilling out there. And I might say something every now and then, but I just play the mental game for real.
So, Jeff, you posted a picture of you and LeBron James recently. I have to ask what that conversation was like. Did he give you advice? Did he share any stories with you? What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, so he just told me coming to the next level, just always be level-headed. Don't get too high, don't get too low. And the most important part, just remember who you are at all times. Never let that get out of your head.
All right, Jeff, in 36 hours, as Nick mentioned, your life will change drastically. I know you're a little nervous. Take the words of LeBron James. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Enjoy the process, even though this year under quarantine, it'll be different than in years past. Thank you so much for being with us, for joining us, and hopefully you'll come back and join us again at the next chapter of your life. Really appreciate your time today, Jeff. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.